Hey there, everyone. Buckle up, because I'm about to take you on a wild ride, a story that still twists my gut when I think about it. It's about family, trust, betrayal, and the lessons that hit you like a ton of bricks. This is the story of how I gave my brother $10,000 to help with his rent, only to see him flexing a brand new BMW on Instagram the very next day. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's dive in. It all started last Tuesday. I was at home, winding down. After a long day when my phone buzzed, it was my younger brother, Jake. Now, Jake and we've always been close. Growing up, we shared a tiny bedroom in our parents' old apartment, stayed up late whispering about dreams, girls, and how we'd make it big one day. He's the kind of guy who could charm anyone with his smile, but he's also had his share of rough patches, bad jobs, worse relationships, you know the drill. So when I saw his name on my screen, I picked up right away. His voice was different this time, shaky, desperate. "Bro," he said, "I'm in deep trouble. I'm behind on rent and the landlord's threatening to kick me out. I don't know what to do." My heart sank. I could hear the panic in his words, the kind that makes your chest tighten. He went on, painting a grim picture. Unpaid bills piling up, barely enough money for groceries, and the constant fear of losing his apartment. He said he needed $10,000 to get back on his feet. 10 grand. That's a big number, but this was my brother. My little brother, who used to follow me around like a shadow. I didn't hesitate. Family's family, right? I've always believed in being there for the people you love, no matter what. I told him, "Jake, don't worry. I got you." That same night, I sat at my kitchen table, opened my banking app, and wired him the money. $10,000, gone in a few clicks. It wasn't easy to part with that cash. That was my savings, money I'd scraped together over years of side hustles, overtime, and cutting corners. It was my safety net, my just-in-case fund. But hearing Jake's voice, so broken, so scared, I couldn't say no. I went to bed that night feeling like I'd done the right thing, like I'd saved my brother from a dark place. Then came the next day. Wednesday morning, I'm sipping my coffee, scrolling through Instagram to kill time. And there it is. A post from Jake. He's standing in front of a sleek black BMW, keys dangling in his hand, grinning like he just won the lottery. The caption? New whip, new vibe, living my best life. My stomach dropped. I stared at the screen, my coffee going cold in my hand. A BMW? The same guy who, just 24 hours ago, was crying about being evicted? I zoomed in on the photo, trying to make sense of it. The car looked brand new, gleaming under the sunlight. My mind started racing. Was this what my $10,000 went to? No way. It couldn't be. There had to be an explanation. I called him immediately. "Jake," I said, trying to keep my voice steady, "what's with the BMW?" He laughed, and said, "Oh, that? Just a lease deal, bro. No biggie. I'll pay you back soon, don't worry." His tone was so casual, like he hadn't just taken my life savings. I pressed him. "A lease? With what money, Jake? You said you were broke." He got defensive, mumbling something about a side hustle and how he'd figure it out. But his story was flimsier than a house of cards. I hung up, my head spinning. Something wasn't right. I couldn't let it go. That money meant too much to me. So I did what any skeptical big brother would do. I started digging. First, I called his landlord. Yeah, I went there. I needed the truth. The landlord was confused when I mentioned Jake being behind on rent. "Behind?" he said. "Jake paid 6 months in advance last week." 6 months? In advance. My heart pounded in my chest. If he wasn't behind on rent, what was my $10,000 for? I checked his Instagram again, scrolling through his stories. More posts about the car, fancy dinners, even a new watch. Every photo screamed money. money he didn't have before I sent that wire. By now, I was fuming. I felt like a fool, played by the one person I thought I could trust. I called Jake again, this time not holding back. "Tell me the truth," I said. "What did you do with the money?" There was a long pause. Then finally, he cracked. "All right," he said, his voice low. "I used it for the car, the down payment. I wanted something nice for once. I deserved it." Deserved it? Those words hit me like a punch. I deserved my savings. I deserved not to be lied to. I deserved better from my own brother. I let him have it. "Jake, that was my money. My safety net. I gave it to you because I thought you were in trouble. And you used it to buy a car?" He tried to explain, said he'd been feeling stuck, like life was passing him by. He saw that BMW and thought it would change things, make him feel like a success. But all I could think about was the betrayal, the lies, the way he let me believe he was desperate, when really, he was just chasing a status symbol. I hung up, my hands shaking. I didn't know whether to scream or cry. That $10,000 wasn't just money. It was years of sacrifice. Late nights working, skipping vacations, saying no to things I wanted so I could build a future. And now it was gone, wrapped up in a shiny car my brother didn't even need. I sat there staring at the wall, replaying every moment. How did I miss the signs? Why didn't I ask more questions? I trusted him because he was family. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? The next few days were rough. I barely slept, wrestling with anger and guilt. Part of me wanted to cut Jake off for good, to never speak to him again. But another part, the part that remembered us as kids, sharing secrets in the dark, couldn't let go. Family's messy, you know? You love them even when they break your heart. I started thinking about what went wrong. Maybe I was too quick to send the money. Maybe I should have asked for proof, like a late rent notice or a bill. Maybe I let my emotions cloud my judgment. I decided to give Jake one more chance, to make this right. I called him again, calmer this time. "Jake," I said, "I'm hurt, but I want us to fix this. You need to pay me back." He was quiet for a moment, then said, "I know I messed up. I'm sorry. I'll figure out a way to make it right." He told me he'd started looking for a second job and he'd sell the car if he had to. I don't know if I fully believe him yet. Trust is hard to rebuild after something like this. But I'm giving him the chance to prove himself. Not because I'm soft, but because I believe people can change. At least, I hope they can. This whole ordeal got me thinking about trust. It's such a fragile thing, isn't it? You give it freely to the people you love, but one wrong move and it shatters. I've always been the kind of person who trusts first, who believes in the good in people. But this experience, it's made me question that. Not just with Jake, but with everyone. How do you know who's being real with you? How do you balance love and caution? I don't have all the answers, but I'm learning. I also realized I need to set better boundaries. Helping family is important, but it doesn't mean handing over everything without a second thought. If I'd asked Jake for more details, maybe I'd have seen through his story. If I'd taken a beat to think it over, maybe I wouldn't be in this mess. It's a hard lesson, but a necessary one. I'm not saying I'll never help anyone again. Far from it. But I'll be smarter about it. I'll ask questions. I'll protect myself. Looking back, I think about the moment I sent that $10,000. I felt so good, like I was being the big brother Jake needed. Now, I see that moment differently. It wasn't just about helping him. It was about me, too, wanting to feel needed, wanting to be the hero. Maybe that's why I didn't dig deeper. Maybe I wanted to believe his story because it made me feel good about myself. That's a tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth. Jake and I are still talking, trying to rebuild what's been broken. It's not easy. Every conversation feels like walking on eggshells. But we're family, and I'm not ready to give up on him. He's promised to pay me back, bit by bit, and I'm holding him to it. Whether he follows through, only time will tell. For now, I'm focusing on moving forward, on learning from this, and on making sure I don't let blind trust lead me down this road again. This experience has changed me. It's made me more cautious, but it's also reminded me why family matters. Even when they mess up, big time, there's still love there, buried under the hurt. I'm not saying it's okay what Jake did. It's not. But I'm choosing to believe he can do better, because giving up feels worse than trying. So that's my story. A story of trust, betrayal, and trying to find a way back. It's not a perfect ending. Heck, it's not even an ending. Yet, it's just life, messy and complicated. If you've been through something like this, I'd love to hear about it. Have you ever trusted someone only to have them let you down? How did you handle it? Drop your stories in the comments. I'm all ears. And maybe, just maybe, we can all learn something from each other. Thanks for listening.